Good. One today is Monday, May 12th, 2025. Jump day for Tuesday the 13th. All right, let's go. Well, no setups going into tomorrow. There's not a lot out there. I'll explain both of these in just 1 second. If you had to do something, this RGLD looks okay, but obviously gold got whacked today, as evidenced by the TFPM. By the way, on your stop on that one, just in case. Better than the poke in the eye on CCL. We'll take a look at that in just 1 second. This looks okay. Obviously, gold getting whacked in here. Make sure you wait for an entry should you go after it. But for now, let's just hold off and see how things shake out. I am seeing some of these super speculative issues bottom out, like Bitcoin miners and pot stocks. A lot of these guys have overhead supply to deal with. So let's just hold off on that too for now. Let's take a look at the overall market and flesh things out. First of all, S&P 500. Look at that, up 3.25% plus, pushing into this overhead supply. 1 bar of Landry line above the 200-day simple moving average. Let's not start kissing each other just yet, but very impressive rally there. Unfortunately, it's got lots of overhead resistance, obviously, to overcome. Ditto for the NASDAQ. Decent day there, too. Look at that, up 4%, over 4%, 4% or so. It, too, pushing into that overhead supply. Rusty, kind of an indecisive day after it gapped open, chopped around quite a bit, but it did manage to tack on 3.5% on the day, so that's much better than poke in the eye. It did not take out this recent peak, though, in here. That's going to provide a little bit of resistance, and after that, the 200/overhead supply just above it will also be resistance. EFA shares, brand new highs there, so far this amazing V-shaped recovery is holding. Dollar beginning to weaken a little bit. You can see the euro beginning to break down a little in here. Gold and commodity getting whacked pretty hard, getting kind of wide, loose, and sideways as of late. Gold stocks getting whacked fairly hard too. Still a longer term uptrend, but obviously, again, wait for setup should you decide to go after anything. Biotech, big rally there. Still a pretty serious downtrend. Software, decent rally there too. Still has some supply to get through, like many other areas. Jets opening gap reversal, stalling right at the prior peak, kind of a witch hat type of look to it. That's not looking so hot. Banks just right above that 200, lots of overhead supply to deal with. So that's sort of a reoccurring theme. Again, these pot stocks are trying to bottom out here. Nothing to get excited about there just yet. Pharmaceuticals, opening gap reversal. They look like they're still in trouble. Been selling out of a pullback as of late. Semiconductors, look at that. Bam! All the way up to the 200, which is right around this overhead supply, up 6% and change. But until and unless we get through that, I wouldn't get too excited just yet. Uranium continues to kind of bottom out here, so maybe that'll be one of those areas where we'll see some setups. There is, like many other areas at low levels, overhead supply to deal with. Energies, opening gap reversal. I wouldn't rush out and buy them. Lots of overhead so far. I guess you'd call it a downtrend followed by a deep retrace. It's kind of all over the place, so wouldn't get excited one way or the other. Financials, big gap higher there, opening gap reversal though, but still up over 2% on the day, bumping up against a little bit of resistance at its all-time high. So that's kind of a reoccurring theme for the areas that are doing really well. Still a lot of areas not doing so hot in there. That's health service. You can see it bounced today, but remaining in a choppy downtrend. I think that's it for now. Let's just see if we can hold this. If we come right back in, then all bets are off. And that's what trade following is all about. Getting in stocks that are moving. If you get knocked out of them, you get knocked out of them, then you find some new ones. Anyway, hopefully that made sense. Everybody have a fantastic night. If not, feel free to shoot me an email or bring it up on Facebook. Thank you so much, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Thank you so much.